Coming in riding a 6-game losing streak, the Warriors get a much-needed win against the Rockets to avoid what would have been a disastrous 0-6 homestand. To put it simply, this was a must-win game. The Warriors played with a sense of urgency against a Rockets team playing on the second night of a back-to-back. The urgency was evident by the fact that Kerr played Steph the entire fourth quarter. This was a game they couldn't afford to lose. This Rockets team might not be contenders, but they've made roster improvements this offseason to add vets to their already talented young core. Jalen Green and Alfred Sengun both got game. When you add vets like Fred VanVleet, Dylan Brooks, and Jeff Green, along with Ime Udoka as the head coach, you can start to see the vision for this young team. Adding some grit, toughness, and veteran leadership, they're going to be a tough team to put down most nights. Regardless of them being on the back-to-back, this was a solid win for the Warriors. It looks like Wiggins is starting to round into form. Last game against OKC, he dropped 31 points on 12 of 19 shooting from the field and 5 of 8 from 3. In that game, Wiggins was 1 for 3 from 3 in the first 3 quarters and went 4 for 4 in the fourth. He only had 12 points on 3 of 10 shooting against the Rockets, but physically, he looks like he got his lift back. And it's right on time too, because with GP2 and Draymond out, Wiggins and Klay are the guys that desperately needed to step up. Speaking of Klay, he finally had a 20-point game, and it came in the 14th game of the season. That's honestly crazy considering Klay averaged 22 points per game last season. This year, he's done 14.5 points per game on an ugly 39% shooting from the field and 34% from 3. Hopefully this game is a step in the right direction for Klay, who's not only been struggling to knock down shots, but he's been thirsty with his shot selection. Last game against OKC, Klay literally shot them out of the game, going 1 for 10 with some insanely bad shots in the OT. With Draymond out, the Warriors are missing their second best player. They're gonna need Klay to stay out of his own head and lock in.
I just reminded him, I said, look, if you're not open, just move it. Look at these guys we have on the team who will get you the ball. We had a beautiful possession early on where the ball swung. It hit the paint twice. It was drive kick again. I think Klay hit the 3 to end that possession, and that's the blueprint, right? But in order for that to happen, Klay has to get off the ball when he's not open, rather than try to beat his guy one-on-one and take a difficult fadeaway. So that's what we're focusing on, and if he does that consistently, then the game's going to open up for him.
5 of Thompson's 7 makes were assisted by Paul, who finished with 12 assists and only 1 turnover. Paul compared himself to Peyton Manning and Tom Brady post-game.
If you think about, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, them type quarterbacks who got these elite receivers, for me, it's so fun bringing the ball up the court knowing you got Klay, you got Steph. You know what I mean? Like, some of the passes I'm throwing to them, you throwing it before they even get there. And they catch it and they shoot it and they still make it. You know what I mean? I know what I can do and I know what I can't do. And I don't shoot the ball like them. You know what I mean? So it's fun to play with guys that are slipping and setting screens or whatnot. And I think we're only going to get better.
Over his last 2 games since being inserted into the starting lineup over Draymond, CP3's averaging 13.5 points a game, 11.5 assists, and 5 rebounds. Shooting 50% from the field and 7 of 12 on threes. He has 23 assists to only 1 turnover. He was a plus 15 over those 2 games. Look, I'm gonna keep it real. Seeing Draymond choke out Rudy Gobert like he was Jody from Baby Boy had me dying, bruh.
Mom! Yeah, that's right. That's right, call for your mama.
And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't cheering loud as hell in my living room seeing it all go down. I admit I was highly entertained. You can tell Draymond was praying for an opportunity to get his ass. He really had dude fighting for his life. Look at the sheer terror in Rudy Gobert's eyes, bruh. I've seen about 10 different angles of the chokehold, and I swear every new angle I see is funnier than the last one. The moment Draymond grabbed him and refused to let go while whispering in his ear, I knew he was cooked. I was like, yep, that's at least a 4-game suspension. Like, come on, it's Draymond. His reputation speaks for itself. Bias aside, 5 games sounds about right, man. It is what it is. Anyways, that's all I got for y'all, man. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll holler at you on the next one. Peace.